here we go, back to the Beholder miniature as it happens. So I've been running around trying to clean things up, make things work. How's it going, Darren? How's it going, Brandon? Welcome back. Now we're going to try and put this thing together. So I'm just doing my sound check. I have opened my window and my door to make sure I have plenty of ventilation, and you can find the start time down in the description. So if you find there's noises coming through that you're kind of wondering about, that's because I have opened everything up so that I don't wind up poisoning myself. We wouldn't want that. Okay, so you can find the start time, as I said, down in the description. Normally what I do is I do my presentation first, and then I open it up to questions and answers, but that's not the format for today. This is just me putting this miniature together. And I'm just going to do my lead in and get started, and you can see what's going on. I'm a little bit worried about what's going on today because I was having a look at all bits and pieces and it looks a little bit complicated, and I will explain as we go. Okay, so let's get started. Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to try to put together the Xanathar Beholder miniature that's made by Gale Force 9. Now, very kindly, Gale Force 9 and Battlefront have sent me the miniature to review and to assemble and paint, and today we are going to go through the process of assembling it. What I did notice is there were a couple of little problems that I wasn't expecting. It's like the best laid plans are often sort of ruined for whatever reason, and I had planned out everything for this particular video, making sure that everything would work properly, and then I came across a little snag as I was checking the slots that everything would go into, and I will explain the problem. As it happens, as you can see, I have all of my pieces laid out. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do this, and lo and behold, I noticed that there is a pattern. There are circles on the body, there are squares, there's a triangle, there's a 6-sided slot, there's a 5-sided slot, and lo and behold, I have a collection. I've organized my eye stalks into square and various sides, but I just noticed that suddenly I don't seem to have any eye stalks with a triangle slot for it to fit into. This reminds me of the Apollo 13, where they had to try to fit a square peg into a round circle. Now, if the crew of the Apollo team can figure out how to get themselves home by sorting out the square and circle peg problem, and NASA can figure it out, I'm sure I can figure out how to make this work. So I'm still going to do it, even though I don't have any pegs that have a triangle on it. Ah, dear. Okay, so I did a bit of a sort of a dry fit to figure out which bits were supposed to go where, and what I've determined is, out of the bits and pieces that I have, I seem to have duplicates of parts. So that there is a duplicate. So that's a round slot, and it's the same size. I should have had one with a triangle, so I'm taking that to the side and I'm scratching my head right now, I know that. Now this one here looks to me like I have a duplicate here. That's a slightly different shape and size, I believe, although they do sort of look very similar. So I'm going to take that one and I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to figure out how to make them fit into a triangle slot. Yeah, that's right, I am. That's exactly what's going to happen, and I'm going to make it work. So I was looking at this and I was thinking, okay, in regard to what all the other things are doing, this is supposed to go like there. That's how it's supposed to look, right? How's it going, Darren? Joe, how's it going? Hi, Steve. Hi, Patrick. Grab your bits and pieces. This should be highly entertaining as I try to figure out what to do. So that's sort of the basic sort of position for that one. And then I've got these to choose from to try to make them go into the triangle size slot, which is not going to fit. So I could go like that, or I could go like this. I feel like that's all right. My only problem is if I put this one here, it's going to look kind of weird. So I don't really want things to get in the way. So what am I going to do? Well, I've got to decide whether it's going to be this eye stalk on this side here, like so, or it's going to be that eye stalk on that side, like so. Now, to give you an idea of what the other eye stalks look like, the square one in particular was most important because it's the one that's going to be, I feel like that's the square slot. It could go like that. I could select that one, or I could select this one. This one I think is probably, I don't think it really matters which one it is. It's going to be one or the other. Essentially, it's got to be one or the other. Can't be both, right? So it's either that one or it's this one. Not a huge difference, I realise that. Okay, so I'm now tossing up. This is going to be really easy, guys. Super easy. Yeah, no problems for me whatsoever. Triangle, 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 triangle. See, I don't like that. If I put this one here, it looks better. If I put that one over there, kind of looks weird, like it's looking off to the side, but it does sort of look like the picture. So I'm going to go with reshape the circle to fit the triangle, and then we'll sort the rest out from there. Okay, alright, so angle and position and a little bit of trimming. I feel like down is awful, so we need to sort of cut the slot out on that side there at the top. Okay, so cutting down with my craft knife. It's going to be very difficult. I can see right now that trimming off and shaping that's going to be a problem. Little bits at a time, right? Don't get carried away. Just small slices. The plaster is not because I've cut myself recently. That was something completely different. Hi Joe, this should be fun. How long you think it's going to take till Fred starts on a laughing gas, mate? It's quite possible it could happen sooner rather than later. It is amusing. You know, I'd gone to all this preparation. To be fair, you know, Gareth at Battlefront had said, look, if you found any problems, which I only found the problem recently, like in the last hour or so, he said, let me know. And then I was like, yeah, I could let him know, but I'm just going to continue on. Because, as you know, I am insane. It's always been the case. Nothing has changed. Still insane. Okay, slicing down. And then taking it, cleaning it away. Like so. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to pin some of these eye stalks. I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with it. I'm just sticking some super glue on there and praying that they stay in place. Not with the reshape the slot, or should I say shape the pin to fit into the slot. It's definitely going to need a pin of some kind. So that means drilling holes. Okay, so I've got that's up there, and then I've got to do a triangle shape-ish to make it go into there. And I've got to be careful that I don't wind up making it get in the way of other eye stalks. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so let's do that again. Where is the slide that's flat? Okay, cut that down. And again. Not too much. No. There we go. Alright. I am perfectly calm. Just like the astronauts and NASA, I am taking my time and assessing the issue, and then just approaching it in a sensible and calm manner. No freaking out on my part whatsoever. Yep, she's all good. It is all going to work. Now, that is done. Let's try to slot that in. I think you should make an eye out of Milliput. No, I'm not making an eye out of... No, I'm not doing that. That's... Okay. So that has got the eye stalk pretty close to where I needed it to be. I might need to rearrange things just a tiny bit, whole idea is to use this miniature, not make a new miniature. Okay, so, and then now that I've done that, I'm just going to just slice down. Yeah, there we go. So a little bit of adjustments, and she's all going to be good. And hopefully I've made my pin pretty much in the position that it needs to be. And I'm hoping that's the case. We will find out when I do a dry fit in a second. Look at that. Yeah. Good news. Good news. Right. Now, triangle, triangle. Or triangle. Blah. Triangle. Okay, well, a triangle is there. It maybe it should have been a bit further over, more there. I've kind of not quite lined it up. Can I fix that? It's got a little bit of movement in it. A little bit of movement means I can at least shift it. I can shift it up, I can shift it down. I think down is better. I think that is good enough. Okay, so let's say that is triangle number 1. Okay, let's get this side and turn that into a triangle and get that to fit. That's not going to fit right now, but if I slice off that corner there, I think that will solve most of the problems. Be careful I don't cut myself. Oh, this one's going to be tricky. And a couple of slices. I know I'm cutting towards myself, but how else am I supposed to do it? Blood will be flowing. No flowing of blood. We're all good. You guys, you just need to be calm about everything. There. Beholders are supposed to be adjusted. They don't come right. Oh, that side's sort of working. Now why is it not fitting the way I want it to? Because I can't see what's going on completely. So I've cut that side off there, and I've tried to squish it into there, and it's not going to go because of that corner right there. So I cut that corner off, and we got kind of like a part of a triangle. Look, it's working. Yeah, and then trim that off. I'm so glad I got this big sharp knife. Scalpel, right? Precision tool, whatever you call it. Okay, the big sharp thing. The small sharp thing. It's a sharp thing, at least. Look. Yeah, good. Alright, cool. So if you're buying this, you might find you need to make a few adjustments. I'm not assuming that every single eye stalk that you get is going to be wrong. It's quite possible that this is just an unusual pack, and when you get yours, everything will line up perfectly. Or you'll get it and you'll see the arrangement of where the eyes will be and decide you don't like it and want to change it anyway. I'm going to cut there, there we go, trim it. That's not really coming out the way I'd hoped. Let's do that again. And I'm not looking at the chat right now because you'll distract me and I've got a knife in my hand. That's the surest way I'll cut myself. I am trying to be very careful, Steve. Dear Jesus, pray for me now. Okay, look, that eye stalk is looking good. It's not brilliant, but it's gonna fit in the triangle. Okay, so let's move these things away, and then I'll just shuffle that around. I think what I should do is I should install these ones last, instead work on the other eye stalks. Now I am, as I said, I'm a little worried about just sticking them into the slots and thinking they will stay there, because I've got this nasty suspicion that they won't, that they will fall out, and that I should drill. See, this one could go, that one could go there, or the other one could go there. It doesn't really matter. It could be either one of these. I don't really feel like there's any real significant difference between them. That one is going to require a bit of putty work on it. Are they exactly the same? They look really pretty much the same. So I feel like that's going to definitely be going in there somewhere like that. And that's probably its position. So I might just grab a drill. I'm going to use my Citadel drill. And I'm going to try putting some pins in, see if I can make that work. If I can't make it work, then I'm just going to go with stick it together with some super glue and be done with it. Alright, so for those of you wondering, I'm using my Citadel drill, and I have a drill bit in here. Now for those, somebody was asking me if it came with multiple drill bits. Yeah, it most certainly does. I have multiple drill bits in there. And I bought a whole lot more anyway, so it didn't matter. I've got about 50 of them now. Yes, it is a resin sculpt. Yes, you're absolutely right, Darren. There should be fun. Yes, yes, lots of laughter. Yes, bring your own projects along so you can watch while I try to do my thing. That didn't work. Let's tighten it up too much. Yeah, so if you're thinking of picking the miniature up, you'll need to make sure that you're aware that it's possible that you might wind up with having the wrong pegs for the particular slots that are involved. Yeah. Joe, I totally get it. I totally get it. It's a joke. It's a joke. Yes, we don't want to make an eye stalk. That would just take way too long. Okay, so I've got my drill ready to go. I just need some paper clips. I'm using heavier paper clips in this case rather than using a bigger paper clip to pin it together with. I'm going to try pinning one. If it works, I'm going with the rest. Okay, straighten it out. And then I've got my pliers. And I think I'll try to make sure I use the straight sections as much as possible. So I might need to use more than one paper clip. There's a lot of eyes here. Spin that. Spin that. Okay, let's do the hard bit first. Let us drill a hole into the body, into where the square is. So straight down. How deep does it need to be? I don't know. I'm just guessing. So I'm going to drill a hole in there. Not too deep, I guess. That's probably good enough. And then just blow that dust away. Shouldn't have done that, but never mind. Okay, so now I'm going to drill a hole into one of these. They're both the same. That's its position. I've just got to make sure. This is the problem, is drilling a hole into that section there. I've got to get it perfectly square as I'm drilling and not drilling my finger. Okay. I need to just mark it, I guess, just to make sure it doesn't travel too much. Like so. I'll just use that as a starting point. There we go. Let's see if it works. Drill. Keep it straight, keep it straight. I don't need to go that deep, I guess. I just need to get it in. How far have I gone in? Almost nowhere. This stuff is clearly a bit heavier than the other stuff, so right, how deep is that pin going to go? Not very far at all. I really want to go a bit deeper. I am being very careful, Carter videos, very careful. So, now I thought this was supposed to be easy video. There's never been an easy video. In the last couple of days, everything has been difficult. I don't know why everything's been difficult, but it has. Okay, so that isn't too bad. I think that will allow me to put that pin in there. Although I feel like that hole's just a tiny bit on the big side, really. Okay, so let's cut off a piece, stick the pin in there, see if it'll set in place, And okay, right, trim, where's my little pliers? Let's cut off, how much, Fred, how much? About more rather than less, because I can trim the other bit once I've glued it in place, right? Think about it, Fred, think about it. Okay, so we'll glue that in place with a super glue and then go from there. Alright, it's all business now. Okay, dear Jesus, quick tip with the super glue, sprinkle baking soda at the connection and it acts as a accelerant. That's right, Black Magic was doing that. There, you good point. I'm going to go grab some, what do you call it, baking soda. Is it baking soda? Super glue, baking soda. Got my baking soda. It's all ready to go. Let's make sure that's not off or anything. No, just undo that bit. Yep. And where shall I put my baking soda? In that container? It's tempting. I got myself a little container of baking soda. I'll put it up here. And we should be all ready to go. Okay, alright. Plan is ready to go. Super glue. Got myself this. I don't know how fantastic it is, but we're going to give it a go. Anyway, just pull the lid off. Oh, God, blimey. Yeah. Geesh. Yeah, gotcha. Took a little while, but got there. And then there's a little cap on it. Got my super glue. I need to be quick about it. So, pin is there, ready to go. Super glue, down, pin, in, and then here's the problem, is I need to be able to hold the pin so it's going to set at the right angle. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to hold it and then just dip it and see if that stuff accelerates the process faster. I actually think that is going to cause more problems for me rather than less. I know, maybe not, maybe not. Because to use it as an accelerant here, it's going to leave residue. Yeah, see, there's the problem. It's only going to work when I need to actually stick it into the miniature. That is actually going to cause more hassles for me, because now the residue from the baking soda has created a section that I need to actually trim away. Even though the pin has dried really fast, it hasn't solved the problem of feeding it into the section where it needs to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my knife, tidy that up, and use the baking soda later on as I'm putting it into the miniature. I think it's the better idea. I can't wait for the new unpainted WizKids Spectator and Gazer minis coming out in July. Oh, okay, sounds good to me. So we'll trim that. See if we can't get a clean up that section. It's supposed to be a square. It's not a square anymore. It's more like a blob. And trim here as well. So baking soda is a good idea, but only when we're actually attaching it to the body. Otherwise it makes a mess of the joining connection. Oh, can't really get it to stay still. Yeah. Try again. Cut down. There we go. Cut that little bit of glue away and trim there. Okay, let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my clippers, I'm going to trim this down, make it nice and short, not too short, but I can actually test it before it goes in, can't I? Ah, the pin came out. So that was a waste of time. Oh, my fingers are going to glue together. So the pin goes in, use the glue, fix it in place, then I can use the accelerant once I've got it sorted out and in the position I want it. That's not too long, it's too short. Where's my drill? We'll drill a bit deeper, eh? Nope. That didn't work. My drill just went plonk. Not good, not good. Do it again, tighten it up. Not enough force. Yeah, once it's on the body, yeah, I'll get it on the body and then I'll go from there. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my drill now. Hang on. Okay. Alright, let's drill that hole a little bit deeper. Okay, good. And then if the pin goes through into there, that looks pretty good to me. I think I'm ready to apply some glue. That's kind of already set partly in there, but the pin's actually sort of done its work anyway. Alright, so apply the glue. And stick the lid on, working fast, and then into position. Okay, I'll just hold it there, and I'm going to just hold it over this. I get some of this stuff. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'm going to just use a toothpick. I should have like a little spatula. Oh, I do have little spatulas, don't I? I have like crafting tools. If I use the crafting, sorry guys, you can't really see what I'm doing. So you need to sing out when I move myself out of the screenshot. If I move myself out of the screenshot, it's not going to be very helpful to you guys, is it? Right, let's see. I've got a little spatula thing here, which I can use to pick up the baking soda and sprinkle around the area to help speed up the process. And I think that has probably worked out all right. Okay, that is one in place. I feel like the pinning process is going to be a good idea. I've got one on. Probably what I'm going to do with the rest of it is I'm definitely going to go with the concept of drill all the holes first before I start putting the rest of the little eye stalks on. So there will be a bit of drilling going on for the next little while I make that work. But while we're waiting for that to happen, let's see if I can't get the mouth in place, because I feel like that's probably ready to go in. There we go. That can be stuck on there, and we can get that mouth in place now. And my super glue. Pop off the little lid and apply whole surface where I want it to be. Okay, lid back on, and then drop the mouth in. Make sure it's roughly where it needs to be. It is going to need some filling by the looks. You can see here don't know if you can see there, but that's definitely going to have some gaps, so you're going to need to fill that later on. It might get filled a little bit by using the baking soda as I sort of try to activate it, but I still feel like some of the gaps are big enough that you will need to use something like a putty, some green stuff, or some Milliput or something like that, to make sure that it's actually going to do what it's needing to do, which is fill in all those little spaces. Spend so much money on a miniature, right? You want to make sure it's going to come out right. Okay, let's turn that upside down. We'll do the other side. There we go. Tricky stuff. You would think that a miniature like this would not be quite so difficult to put together, but it's made in so many parts, right? No. I think that is just about covered most of it. I don't often use super glue. Most of my miniatures are not resin. Very rarely do I use resin, simply because I can't afford it. Just a plastic ones are good enough for me. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to just leave him over there for a second. Put that tool over there. Put him here. He can smile at you for a little while I deal with the next problem, which I believe is this base. There is 2 long stalks, and what I noticed is the stalks fit fine into this one, not an issue, but into the other base doesn't really work very well. So I'm going to pick the longer one, because I'm probably going to have to cut off one part of it. I'm going to stick that on now. Dear Jesus, it's a 4:50 p.m. in LA. Oh, okay. If I'm not chatting with you guys, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure I get this done in a decent time frame. I've still got like a whole bunch of holes to drill. That's every eye stalk. Considering how many eye stalks there are, that's a lot of work. Okay, so that... I suppose we can... Am I really worried about it? It'll probably go off colour a little bit if I use this stuff, but we'll do it anyway. Bum 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 bum. No, I'm missing. Get more on there. Here we go. Cool. Coolios. I'll worry about cleaning away all of the rest of it with a brush some other time. Clean it up later. Okay, so where do I put you? I'll get you out of the way. Stick you over there. And move that over there. And now it's time to figure out how to connect this to this. Like so. I'm going to have to trip. That pin there is going to have to come off. It's the only way I can think of making it work. Yeah, a little bit of texture. I just don't want to spend too much time having to fix things up if I can help it. Hi Chris. Yes, we're trying to put together the Beholder from Gale Force 9. Filed it last time. It was an exciting video, that was. And right now I'm trying to cut through this. It's not really wanting to cut. I'm going to try and use a heavier knife. That might make it happen. Okay, cut and roll. Oop, and there, bam! It just knocked something over. Wasn't intentional. Okay, so just clean that off. I'm probably still going to have to shape it up to get it to fit in that hole because it's still too wide currently. Let's get rid of that knife because it's going to be a bit tricky. And we'll use this one and just tidy it up. Here we go. And then to fit it in the hole, yeah, I'm going to have to actually trim a little bit off it. So I'll just go around it, trim, trim, little bits, and just go right around the whole thing, and then check it again. Not working, keep going. There. It's a nice day to put up a holder together. I've been cooking carrots and potatoes. That's what I've been doing, and I've been watching now there's the Bard's Craft. For those people who like making stuff, the Bard's Craft makes really cool looking terrain, but he also makes monsters and creatures out of all sorts of bits and pieces. Mostly it seems to be polystyrene, PVA glue, and I think I saw a couple of toothpicks, bit of cardboard paper. Really cool stuff. Really awesome. It's worth going and checking out his channel. I really liked what I saw. I keep watching his stuff. I think he's got like a trend or an ent up right now. He's done like a scorpion, fire elemental, earth elemental, air elemental. I don't know if there's a water elemental. I can't remember. He's done a Nazgul. For those of you who are into, you know, Lord of the Rings, stuff like that. And I believe there was also another one. He did it like a blue dragon. It's still not working. So okay, all right, keep trimming around. So yeah, go and check out his channel. It's a very small channel. He hasn't got a lot of subscribers. He hasn't got a lot of videos, but what videos he does are good. They're worth your time. Right, let's check that again. Joe, you just got home out of the abyss. Dungeon Master screen was at my door. Okay, you'll have to let us know what it's like. I have been reluctant to ask for or even pick up a lot of the specific Dungeon Master screens for Dungeons and Dragons, and the rationale being that it's not something I can reuse. Once I've used it for a campaign, it's over. So it'd have to be a very good reason, and they're actually pretty expensive too, right? So unless you're really committed to having that screen and you feel it's worthwhile, clearly you believe it is, Joe, because I imagine you would have done all of your homework before you even ordered it. There we go. Right, and now it fits. So you can see that is going to fit nicely. I'm just going to tidy my area because there's little bits of dust everywhere and I need to clean the space so I can actually work properly. So we'll just move that over there. Try not to disorganise my arrangement, since I have at least been slightly organised with how I lay everything out. Oops. And move my finger through there, put all the little bits over there, get them out of the way. Now that that's done, we shall move on to the more complicated and difficult aspect. We're going to glue the stalk to the base. No, I'm only kidding. That's probably not going to be that difficult at all. Hi Chris, so your first session, home for my first session of Lost Mine of Phandelver. 2 PCs went unconscious, but they ended up doing well at the end. That would be the first encounter, I'd imagine. That first encounter can be pretty rough. I think a lot of people assume that something like a goblin is easy to dispose of, but if they have to jump on you, you're going to get messed up real bad. And you know, oops, glue. I think that might have been slightly stuck to my finger when that happened. Okay, so I just need to just tap that back in. Okay, alright, so where's the super glue? Just make sure I've got nothing on my fingers before I do this, otherwise I'm going to wind up with a miniature stuck to my fingers. Bean Bros, how's it going? Just found your channel the other night looking for Lost Mine of Phandelver tips as I'm running the campaign for the first time. Love your videos, they're great, help. Great, there's a huge playlist of them. You should find quite a lot of information on that. And I'm here, and if I can focus and answer your questions I will, or at least direct you to a video I've already done. Chances are I've already done a video on it. I haven't done videos on everything, but I have done a lot of videos on topics people have already asked about in the past. Okay, that's that side, and we'll do the other side just to make sure I don't mess things up too badly and stick my fingers to the base. Right. Alright, we'll clean all that baking soda off later. That is good enough. We'll leave that there. My space is starting to get a bit messy. What's that, Joe? Yes, sir. I do a lot of research and do a lot of price shopping. I think I paid, what, $12 US? Well, fair enough. If you're paying $12 US, I would imagine that make a lot of sense. I don't think I could get that particular screen in New Zealand anywhere near that price, so hence I haven't even worried about it. Okay, so those are the two triangle ones that I'm going to keep out of the way so I don't mess up and stick them in the place where I'm not supposed to stick them. Let us start drilling some holes. What's the first step on this, Fred? Drill the holes into the body, or drill the holes into the stalks? Drill the holes into the body. Okay. I've got a little bit of leeway, so at least that's something. And now you've showed up for the next 20 or 30 minutes while I drill holes into a piece of resin. And you thought you were showing up to see something glued together. Oh yeah. What a surprise. There's always something new on this channel. And he had the gall to actually file this miniature down and put it live on his channel as well. How pathetic. It will be fun though once we start getting to the painting stage. I feel like that's going to be really, really good. Okay. Let's not get too carried away. I don't have to go to Timbuktu. And just keep moving the bits of plastic out of the way, or should I say resin. And now Mr. Triangle shape, let's drill a hole in that section there. Has anybody actually got this miniature? Did you pin it? Did you just glue the bits on and be done with it? I'm kind of curious. Darren, don't feel bad, Fred. Canadians get gouged on US products. I think you'll find that unless you're in the United States, everybody does. It's just one of those things. The exchange rate and the fact that you're dealing with shipping. You know, it's everywhere else is a long way off. Okay. I'm just going to clean that blade off. Drill that hole a little bit deeper, and we're good. Brandon, goblins are easy. Get a space marine or a mercenary. Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I think the trick is, when it comes to deciding if you're going to get yourself a specific DM screen, is it worth it? Are you sure you're invested and your players are invested in the campaign long enough to warrant getting one of those? Okay, so I've done that one. Let's do another hole. Let's work my way around here, straight down into his skull. His skull is being drilled. I was trying to figure out how to solve my Earth Elemental. and I was going to glue a whole lot of bits of stone and sand to it to sort of make it more earthy. And I think what I will do is I will use cork, break off bits of cork, and because it's light, and I'll just stick that on with hot glue, and that'll be good enough. Okay, come on out. Get rid of the resin. That hole looks like it's probably deep enough. I'm not going to get too carried away. There we go. Has anybody here been buying any of the Gale Force 9 miniatures? Because I mean they are the high-end stuff, right? They're those sorts of things that you buy when you're really serious about the hobby. Drilling my hull. What's that, Chris? I had 2 brand new players, and I think one of them was disappointed that they were so fragile. Yeah, well, I think the problem is that people assume when they're playing Dungeons and Dragons that they are going to be playing a game where they are like superheroes and, you know, can do anything they want every single time. I think what you'll find, Chris, is if you explain to them that, look, the game changes, gets more complicated, there's always supposed to be a threat, and something like a goblin later on really isn't going to be a big deal. I know people say, look, Dungeons and Dragons 5, he's got bound accuracy, but bound accuracy is nonsense, because I can tell you now that something like a goblin with a +4 to their attack, which is a lot lower than what a level 1 character would have, you put a goblin or even a bunch of goblins up against a higher level character like a level 20 character, the chances are that for them to actually hit that high level character, they are going to have to, some of them, they're going to have to roll a 20. They'll have to get a critical. And critical damage from a goblin on a high level 20 level character is like a joke. So, you know, it's going to change. The dynamics of the game changes as you play the game and you level up. They're probably just used to playing video games where everything was like super easy, and if they've been watching Critical Role, the guys started off getting absolutely munched to begin with, but you know, things have gotten a little bit easier for them now. What's it, Darren? You have a beholder and a red dragon. Ah, yes, okay, cool. Drilling another hole. For those of you who are wondering, what is all the drilling all about? It's because I'm going to pin the whole thing together. Just don't trust it to stay together otherwise. Bean Bros, what's that? Brandon Seabolt. No, there wasn't a pre-gen paladin in the starter set. No, there aren't any pre-gen. You're only going to get your basics, your fighter, your cleric, your wizard, and your rogue. That's it. If you want any other pre-gens, you can get them off the Dungeons and Dragons official website. They have a whole bunch if you want the different classes from level 1 to 20. They are there and available if you want to grab them. Bound accuracy that you speak of. Bound accuracy basically means that supposedly no matter what level the monster is, it's still a threat to a higher level character, because armor class or AC doesn't increase with level. You have to actually find other ways of increasing it, like increasing your the armor that you're wearing, or you need to use something like better dexterity, or if your class is using wisdom or something else to improve their armor class, and you increase those ability scores and modifiers to get your armor class up, which is generally not what monsters are doing. So that's the concept of, I'll do a video on bound accuracy. I know a whole bunch of people have been doing bound accuracy videos, and I suppose I should talk about it because I've taken the game from the extreme, from level 1 right through to level 20, and I'm very, very familiar with the issues of bound accuracy. because I had hoped that that would be the case, you know, that I wouldn't need to worry so much about a situation where I wanted the fight to be a significant threat to my players, but them to sort of cakewalk over it. Okay, so we're drilling 3 more holes in the body, and we should be ready to start drilling holes in the stalks. Dear Jesus, I'm group just finished up part of Lost Mine of Delvar, group of murder hobos with no healer. Well, that happens. They'll figure out the hard way that not having a healer is a bad idea. Do you know what I think is... I was talking to one of my friends when we were playing Dungeons and Dragons the other night, and he said, look, I just refuse to play clerics now because they just wind up being a heal bot. That's why the concept of Healing Word exists. As a bonus action, you can cast a very sort of low-level healing at range and still do something else as a cleric. Because in the past, what you would wind up doing, and I know he's right, because that's what used to happen, is you just run around as the cleric with a shield, just using your hand to, you know, touch somebody and give them hit points so that they could engage in the battle. Really, all you were doing was just healing everybody else. Whereas the style of play, I think, now has changed a little bit, where you have to decide, because you don't have a lot of healing, particularly at low level, you have to decide when's the appropriate time. The appropriate time is to do it when a character goes down or just before they go down. Often it's actually better to wait until they go down, then use the spell, and then they get back up the next turn. Rather than try to make it, I'm just going to keep everybody's hit points at you know, above 0, so that they stay in the fight for every single round, when sometimes actually that's not necessarily the best way. Sometimes you're better, you know, a paladin with lay on hands, if you've got 5 points of lay on hands, that means you can get somebody up 5 times. You don't have to give them 8 hit points, you only need to give them 1 hit point and they can continue fighting. Right, so 1 more hole in the body and we should be good. My advice to you guys is probably drill all the holes in the body first before you start trying to pin it all together if you're going to do pinning, because that extra eye stalk sticking out there is a bit of a pain for me right now. Brandon's got the explanation on bound accuracy. Good. Okay, I will do a video on it. I have been meaning to. Just, it's like everything. I say I'm going to do something, but how long will you have to wait? There are so many topics to talk about. Okay. La da da da. All right. So I now have a holy beholder. Sorry, I had to say it. We have a holy beholder, and it's now time to just let him rest there. And we're going to go with drilling the holes into the stalks, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stalks to drill into. I'm not going to drill too deep. I think that's probably going to be a mistake, so that's not happening. I'm just going to drill as far as I think I can get away with, and if I leave them back in the order I need them to be in, we're all good. Okay. If you can't see what I'm doing, you let me know. If I don't look at the live chat, it's because I'm drilling into eye stalks. It's very, very hard. That's right, I got to use the little prick. Sorry, I need to use the little tool and center it so that the drill won't travel. Center punch, center punch, center punch, drill. Center punch, center punch, drill. And our drill. Oh, it's going to be a bit of work. And I thought I'd get this done in an hour. Yeah. Good luck with that one. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm sure you will anyway. Okay. Is that deep enough? Probably deep enough. Let's just check. Well, the pin will go in some distance. We'll drill it a little bit deeper and we'll see if that's going to be a problem. Okay, good enough. That's that one drilled. Yeah. Showed up just in time to see me drill into eye stalks. Alright, so that's the 5-sided one. I'll keep the 5-sided one together with the 5-sided one. Drill this one now. That's right, center punch. Get my tool. And in the center. And just mark it so the drill bit doesn't travel. Got it. And we're ready to go again. Make it happen. Ragnarok. How's it going, Ragnarok? How are you? And drilling. Get the angle right. And then just get rid of all the little bits of swirly bits. Get my swirly bits out of the way. My swirly bits are gone. Let's go in again. Now I noticed that people were pretty happy with the Dungeons and Dragons campaign starter video. Yet again, an example of when people say they want something and enough people say they want it, I will do it, and they are right. A lot of people were really interested in it, so that's good news. I'm very happy. That community tab has been proving to be incredibly useful. And to be fair, I did have a lot of fun with it. I did actually spend a lot of time sort of thinking really hard about what to give you guys and how I could present it. In the end, I was going to do some sort of crazy slideshow, and I was like, oh, it's going to take me ages to do this. I'm glad I did it the way I did it. Otherwise I would have made it all much more difficult for myself than I needed to. Okay, so that's 2 drilled. That's another 7 more to go. So grab these guys, these are the round ones, and center punch. And then twist it and mark it to make sure we get the point so the drill doesn't travel. Got it. Done. Ready to go again. Cool. Okay. Positioning. Getting the angle of the drill's the tricky bit. Alright, let's just get rid of this stuff. Okay, so for those of you who are wondering how long I'm going to be at this, I'm going to go at it no matter how long it takes until I'm finished putting the thing together. So if you've got your own projects, painting, assembly, construction, crafty stuff going on, or you've got your own, you've got some Dungeon Master prep to do, or you've got to do some work on your character sheet, grab that stuff, get comfortable, hang about. I'm sure there's something will come out of my mouth that's worth listening to. Even the fun bit will be the gluing side, right? Because there's always the possibility that I will make a mess and glue my fingers to the miniature. Now, who doesn't want to be around for that? Ah, dear. Now, that's that one done. That's the circle one. And that's another circle one. So we need to get my little pointy thing. It's working out alright. Just systematically working my way through. In the center. And then just give it a twist and a center punch it like so. Just get the drill bit staying where it needs to be. And I think that's good enough. And oops, I think you'll find that when you're drilling these, if you decide to drill them, make sure you get them really flat. You might find your drill's going in on an angle, but it's just easy to hold it. That's what I'm finding anyway. And line it up. And drill the hole. Slow and easy wins the race. No rushing, no rushing, no rushing. Okay, and that's not too bad, pretty good. Move that out of the way. Keeping my area clean just so I can see what I'm doing, otherwise you can imagine if I start using glue and those little bits start sticking to the super glue, and I'll wind up with little bits of swarf stuck onto my beholder. Okay. Let's just check, see how deep that is. It's good enough. Well, I think it is anyway. I might feel differently about it later on, but we'll see where we go. Alright, so keep going. Next one, what is this? This is a funny shaped one. It's a funny shaped one. What does that mean? It doesn't really mean an awful lot. It's the 6-sided pin. And then we just turn my knife a couple of times. See, to punch it like so. Yay! And drill, and flat, and down. I think that the pins could have been a little bit longer. I would have preferred if the pins they provided, I mean, it was great that they did actually have a pinning system in place. Good if the pins were the right shape, so that when you need to stick the eye stalk into the triangle side, there's a triangle slot for the pin. But also I think maybe the pins need to be just a little bit longer, so you don't have to rely on the super glue doing quite so much work. And also too, I don't really want to have to worry about a miniature that I have to sort of use with kid gloves. I've got to be careful with that miniature. It might fall apart at any moment. I don't really want that kind of miniature. Not when it's a resin one anyway. Doesn't matter, we're going to make it look good anyway. In the end, it'll all work out fine. Okay, so where the heck is that a round one? Well, maybe that's a round one. That's a 6-sided one, that's a round one. That looks like it's the same. Is it the same shape? I can't tell anymore. Oh no! It's hard to tell. That's a round one. That's a round one. No freaking out. Okay. Just grab myself another little knife. I know what you're thinking, Fred, you're going too slow, but I actually feel like I'm doing this pretty quickly. And center punch, center punch, center punch, center punch. Making monsters. Making lots of monsters. Oh, does anybody here remember The Munsters? Which is a TV series, which had a family of basically monsters. I think the grandpa was the vampire, the little boy was a vampire. I'm not sure what the little girl was. Oh, was he a vampire? No, I think that was actually, was he a werewolf? I think he was a werewolf. And the father was like Frankenstein, looked like he'd been built by somebody. The wife, I'm pretty sure she was a vampire of some kind, and I think the daughter was a vampire as well. But I remember that show. It was a lot of fun. If you can't see what I'm doing, I apologize. Was the girl normal? I think there was a normal girl in there, but wasn't there a younger girl who was there were two girls. There was Lily was normal. Or was Lily... No, Lily was the vampire. And then somebody else... there was somebody else. There was Lily the little vampire. And then there's the normal girl. I can't remember her name. And they changed her many, many times. You go in like, oh, she looks different now. What's going on? I remember that the soundtrack the most. It was so much fun. And then, of course, we had the Addams Family, which was, I think... Did the Addams Family come before the Munsters? I don't remember. But they had that cool hot rod. That awesome hot rod that they used to truck around in. That went really, really fast. And it looked like a hearse that had been basically pimped out. For those of you who are into hot cars and so forth. I'm not sure that pimping out a hearse... It also, I think it had like bucket seats in it or something like that. I'm not sure how you get the entire family in that thing. I remember my uncle had a miniature, a model of it, which I thought was absolutely the best thing under the sun. Whoops. That was close, man. There was almost more blood to be seen. It is very easy to get the Munsters and the Addams Family mixed up, I think, to be fair. Alright, I just need to make sure I get the angle right. Angle. It's got to be right the first time round. Otherwise, if I don't get it right, it's going to make a horrible mess. And I'm just going to get rid of that swarfy stuff. And we're doing all right. I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah. Okay, that hole, I feel is deep enough. I don't think I need to get too carried away about the deepness of them. Right, so that's that one there, that's the square. I've got two more to go. These are the triangle ones that I had to reshape to make sure that the pins would work. And both of them ran between 1964 and 1966. Oh, okay. I don't remember there being a lot of seasons of each, but it was one of my favourite shows. I really did enjoy it. And I've got it. I bought the Munsters. Not so much the Addams Family. I think I felt like the Munsters was more fun as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so let's make this work. Drill it. No. Okay, this is the first time things have not worked out quite the way I'd hoped. I'm going to give it another go. If it doesn't work, I'm giving up on that eye stalk getting a pin. Because if it travels too far to the side, it's all over. Okay. Angle and drill. Alright, I think I got it. She's good. And pull it out. Clean the area. There we go. Good one. Nice. Just check the hole depth. Okay. Alright, nice, that's worked out pretty well. Okay, last one, last eye stalk. I know you can't see exactly what I'm doing in terms of drilling the holes, but it's just, I'm sorry. Da-da-da. So, if you aren't familiar with my channel, this is the channel where you get to show up, watch me paint miniatures black or brown or grey or white for like an hour, or file a miniature. Occasionally I try and make miniatures out of pink foam. Never make anything out of pink foam whatsoever. No, I don't like pink foam. Tin foil, I've had far more success with tin foil. We'll be going with a tin foil for the future, I believe. And I don't know if that's, I'm hoping that's got it. It's the angle that's worrying me. This one's slightly different to the other one. Okay, and then drill it. Know the hole. Know the angle. Believe you can do it. And I think so far, because I've made sure that you guys can't see anything that I'm doing, and I actually can see what I'm doing, this has made it much easier for me. I know that makes no sense because this is supposed to be like video, but it's working well for me. Push pins. Dear Jesus, Fred, Fred, if you have a push pin that might work better. Yeah, I had thought about that. I don't have push pin with me, unfortunately. It's alright. This is the last one. And look at that. Yeah. Okay. We're all good. This is the fun bit now. All of the hard, sucky work, you know, trying to drill holes and make things line up and adjusting things. Trying to figure out what to do about this and that. That's all done now. Now we can just stick things together and see how it looks. So I'm going to go with, do the triangle ones last because those scare me the most. And instead, I'm going to work my way around the miniature on this side to the other side until I'm done. And when I'm done, she's all good. Alright, so this is the round one. The round one's supposed to go here. I'm pretty sure the round ones are, no, it's a slight difference in the angle. That one looks like it's supposed to live there though. It kind of looks a bit like the picture. Let's check the other one. That is a circle. That is, I guess it could be that one too. Oh, I have a predicament. I have to decide which one will go there and which one will not. I have to make a decision. Because even though it's a round thing, I think that looks pretty good. And then this one here looks pretty good. Oh, let's check the other side and see what it looks like. Since we've got this nifty wifty, that there looks odd. Doesn't really look like the picture. What about this side? That there is painful to paint. That there looks like he's, I don't know, looking beside him, looking underneath him. At least you can angle the circle ones, you can actually sort of change the position slightly and put it where you feel you would like it to be. That or that. Oh, I'm having some troubles. I feel like anything that's further away from the sodding body will make life a lot easier for me. So that is probably where that one's going, which means that this one is going to go on this side over here. Yep, that's what we'll do. We're going to do that. So, where's my pin? Where's my glue? Glue my pin into the eye stalk. There's my glue. There's my pin. And my pin will be probably way too long. This is the problem. I should have made sure that the pin was the right length before I did any gluing. Okay. Let's trim that off. There. There we go. And pin might just be too long. I'm tempted to shove it in now. I've stuck it in, and just going to do a quick dry fit just to make sure it's going to work. It looks pretty good, so we'll get some more glue, put the glue on the miniature, holding it in a really weird and unusual manner, like so. Stick my little cap on there, and it stuck to my finger. Oh, that was really quick. And now, just need to make sure she's on. And I just adjust it so that I don't feel like it's right smack in his mouth. And then where's my little tool? And we use this baking soda idea that seems to be working out pretty well so far. And we pick up a little bit of baking soda, and we just drop it in place like so, and the glue sets faster, and then we can move around and do the next one. No, flip you over, flip, stay. Oh, wrong eye stalk. I've done that one already. Ooh. I feel like I'm icing my beholder. Are you supposed to do that? No, you're not. Icing the beholder. Glue is mostly set in place. That seems alright. Alright, that's a good start. Let's do the next one, which is the triangle, which I said I was going to avoid till I'd figured out the other ones, since those are the ones that are probably more problematic. So let's just so what is that shape? Does that look like a six-sided shape? It does. It looks like a six-sided shape, and that looks like a six-sided shape. So where's the six-sided ones? Do I remember where they are? That's 5. That's probably 6. And then the eye stalk is supposed to sort of, well, it looks like it's looking up at the ceiling. That's looking like over there. It doesn't look too bad in terms of its fit though. And then if I do this one here, that one's fine too. Oh, now I've got to make some decisions about where I want my eye stalks looking. Do I want it here, or do I want it there? Is there a difference? Do you think that's a difference? I feel like there's very, very little difference to it. In fact, not enough to warrant fussing about. Yeah, okay. It's going to come down to, that's going to go there. Stick that. No, like that. Like that. That's better. Let's do this. Let's do this. No, those are both don't really work. Yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is. Look at that. We got that. It's looking in a weird direction. I know it doesn't look like the picture. Bear with me. Oh, did you almost stab your crotch with your drill? Oh gosh, be careful, man. Look after the jewels. They are important. Alright, so I need a new pin. So I'm going to cut off I'll do a dry fit with my pin before I start sticking glue in this time, right? That might be smarter. Okay, I've cut my pin. Let us check it. In the hole. Stick the stalk on. Might be a bit long. Let's try that again. About there. Cut the pin and stick it in the hole, and then try to stick the little eye stalk on. It's too long. Where's that bit there? It's gone. It's vanished on me. Is that going to work? Can I use that piece in there, and then the eye stalk? Well, I think that'll work. That's the one. Okay, let's take this. Come here, you. Just don't mess me around. Okay, so this has got to come out. That's got to go there. I've got to put the glue in there, stick the pin in, and then go from there. And glue, pin, pin. Oh, I've got a bit of glue on my fingers. Just get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, quick, quick, quick. Okay, and next, I'm waiting for that to hopefully do nothing. And that's that. Glue top back on, pin, eye stalk, there we go. I feel like it's not brilliant, but it's good enough for what I want. So where is my little scalpel thing? And then we get little bits of this stuff, break it up, and then sprinkle it on. Come here. I need to get myself a decent spatula, right? So I can do this without trying to use a tiny little sculpting tool. Let's just break up the big lumpy bits. No, don't fall there. Come back. Okay. I think that got it. I think that is in place, so we can just activated. Ta-da! Eye stalk in place, ready to vaporize. No, no, don't give me any ideas whatsoever. Okay, so next thing. Stay calm. Breathe. In and out. In and out. And then, where are we? That's the round one. I don't want the round one. I want the six-sided shaped one that looks kind of like a circle, which isn't actually a circle. There. There, that's... Is that a circle or not? They all look the same now. That's a circle. That's not a circle. Can stick it there if I wanted to. I'm not sure if I want to. And that is a... That definitely doesn't work. That's going to be a pain because it'll get in the way of other things. Oh, the choices. We're going to go with... See, that doesn't... I don't really feel like that works. Why doesn't that not work? I have done all of this. I've prepped it all. I've prepped it all. Somewhere under the rainbow, a pine, help me, I am so lost now. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna stick that one there. You ruddy thing. Putty will fix you. You are going to live there. Right. Next. Pin. Already cut a pin. Found myself a pin. Will it fit? Maybe. And in the hole. Doesn't quite work. Alright, so we'll take that out. We'll trim it down. Make it a little bit shorter. Not too much. Bink. Did you hear that? Dink. And then into the hole. Isn't this exciting stuff? So it's, I tell ya, sticking a miniature together with little paperclip pins, it's like the best viewing ever. Alright. Okay. So I got that working. And I've got my pin. I just need some glue on the eye stalk. glue down and the pin in. In you go. And then grab my miniature and the glue in the right place, like so. And then the cap on. Cap on. Yep. And then we're going to stick it in place, like that. I think that's got it. Just make sure that's okay. I know you're wondering what I was doing there. I felt like there's a bit too much glue on there, and so I was trying to get rid of some of it. Okay. Baking soda. Miniature there. Ooh. I'll use the halberd side. I'm not sure the halberd side's actually helping that much. I feel like I get whole lot of stuff. All the baking soda is easy to pick up, but I can't put it where I need it to put it. Come on, you. You know, oh, I missed. Gotcha. Still not working. I'll use the other end. Just break that stuff up. Make it a little bit easier. And yay! It's another one done. Was I sticking it in the right place? I was sticking it in the wrong eye stalk. So this one over here. There we go. Got it. Take all of the baking soda off later. Add a little bit of icing sugar. Mmm, tasty. Yum, 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 yum. Okay, Mr. Beholder is looking better than he was before. For those of you who are wondering how long have you been doing this, it's been a while. Yes, it's taken me a little while to get this far, I realise. Okay, so I need another paper clip pin. So we cut that there. And I'm just going to guess. I had one ready to go, but it's kind of escaped me. Oh, it's gone under the mat. Come back. Oh, it's gone. See you later. Bye-bye. Next. So I've got that far. I've now got to try to figure out whether I put in the back ones next or I continue down the side here. I feel like the back ones are going to be less of a problem. Of course, that's only because I've just assumed that. He could live. No, maybe not. And then if I put that one there, that's a problem. That's not going to work. That's shut. That's better. That's working kind of. That's not really going to be even remotely funny. That one's looking behind him. I actually feel like I might do that. It's not going to look like the miniature on the packaging, I can tell you right now. Yeah, the affiliate link for sure gives commissions, not sure on the other one. Yes, yeah, exactly. Most of the Amazon affiliate links that I've got are affiliate links, while Amazon links are affiliate links. Okay, so this goes there in position. If I do that, and then I have to stick one of these things in there, it's kind of looking up. She's all over the place a little bit. Kind of need to do that though. Yes, very interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna stick with dealing with those last, because I feel like that's actually the ones at the back are going to cause me more hassles than I can possibly imagine. Let us go with the round one, Where's the round one? I'll stick the round one in there. I'm going to aim further down. Eye stalk down here rather than up there. I've got to make sure I don't point it down too far. I'll wind up looking at the ground and the base will probably not support it high enough. Let's just check that. Oh no, no, it'll be fine. I can do that if I want to. Okay, alright, I think that is the plan. That is the plan. We're going with the circle one. Get myself a pin. Check pin's length. In the hole. Oh, way too long. How much do I need to cut off? Quite a lot. And then trim. I'm just guessing on that one. For those of you who are wondering, have you taken measurements? No, I haven't taken any measurements. That would be involve too much work. That isn't too bad. It's not brilliant. There will need to be some puttying going on, but that's not too bad. I think that will work all right. So we'll glue that in place. Stay you, and then we'll put that down and dry my fingers. Get some more glue. And then stick it in the hole and get my pin. Try not to touch the super glue threads. Yep, there we go. It's done. And now on the body. Oh, there we go. Got it. It's a bit of a process, I have to say. Okay. And I actually want it to be down more rather than up more, so it's yeah, I think that's the position for that eye stalk. It's going to go. It's living there. Okay, so let's get our little spatula and our baking soda and squish it all up, and we'll drop it on like so, like so. Come on, you. I'm missing. I keep dropping it in place and I miss. This is getting harder and harder to manage because of all the little eye stalks sticking on there, and I'm a little worried that I'll break them off. It won't have set properly. No! Oh shit! Oh no! Hang on, guys. I had a bit of a bollock up. You'll understand in a second. There we go. I got my cap. I lost my glue cap. Should have stuck it straight back on. Okay, so eye stalk, eye stalk, eye stalk, square eye stalk. Let's deal with the square eye stalk. So if that's going there, which is fine with me, I have to decide on which of the triangle shaped ones is going to go where and in what position. That looks really stupid. That ain't going to work. Oh, actually not so much. That's not so bad. That or that. Well, that ain't gonna work. That's I hate that. That's awful. That's really bad. I feel like those particular eye stalks are the ones that are going to cause me the most grief. Well, that's a square one. Don't stop grabbing the square one, Fred. It's a triangle. You can't put the square into the triangle shaped one. That's going backwards. That's still not working. I thought I had planned this out. Okay, so that's all right on that side. This one on this side winds up pointing there. Or it goes there, which can't happen. Or it looks behind it. No. 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 That's right. Okay, that's the one I can twist a little bit. That's better. Okay. Alright, let's stick that one on next. Just because at least I'll have figured out what I'm doing with that side. Alright, where's a pin? I just have to remember to make sure I, where is it? Clip that. Good. And oh, the kids have finished school. I can hear them coming. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Trim that a lot more. And snip that little sucker off about there. And then that will have to be good enough. I can't get it to go down much further. Will it look stupid though? No, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. I think it's the best of the two options that I had available. Yep. Alright, we'll glue that in place. So, glue. Oops. Lid off the glue. Dum 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 dum. And the pin. Put the pin in. Don't glue your fingers to it, Fred. Good news. Grab the glue into the slot. Got it. Put the lid back on now. Good. Grab the miniature and eye stalk. Why can't I get it to work now? It was all good before and now it's not working. Something went wrong. Hang on. I need to work fast, otherwise it's going to be a bit of a mess, isn't it? Let's pay that. That'll get rid of that. Clip it. So a little bit of a problem. Try and fix it now. And eye stalk. I don't know what's going on that is causing me so much hassle, but it's not fitting quite the way I'd hoped. I don't know why that is. I'm pretty sure I picked up the right one. Is it glued in place? Okay. Where's something I can use? Okay, I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue. Oh no, that's not really working. That's not really working. And cap back on. Get the paint. Get this, and then just shuffle that glue around a little bit, like so. And then where's the little tool? Baking soda. Apply. Apply. Keep going. I'm going to do that again. I don't really think that was enough. It was going all well for a second there. Cap. Glue. Spread it. Go into the gaps, you little sucker. Suck it now. Where's that spatula? And oh, tricky. It's getting harder and harder to handle now. Oh, I'm putting it on the wrong eye stalk. Heck, I'm over here. There we go. Okay. That one is probably not quite as tidy as I would have hoped. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. We're getting there. We're heading into the 2-hour mark. Prepare yourselves. Now I've got to decide on this one. That's the square one, right? That's right, it's the square one. So that's going to go there. And this one is going to live there. Really? Apparently. Yep. Fine. Yep, that'll do it. Right, where's my my little bit of paper clip? I'm going to clip off another pin. Those pins are too small. Let's just see if that's going to work. God blimey, this is a lot of pins. I suppose I didn't need to do it, but I feel like I still feel like I'm worried that it's going to fall apart. Okay, let's shorten that, trim a bit more off, bink, just like so. Stick it in the hole, stick it in the body. Still too long. So and next attempt. God, such fiddly little bits and pieces. Go in the hole. There we go. Does it look good? Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. It's going there. Alright, take that out. Pull that out. Where's the glue? Oh, I'm so hungry. Stop talking about meatballs. And the glue. And the pin. I need to get myself some tweezers because my fingers are not that small, and all this delicate fiddly stuff is difficult to do without them. Okay, glue, cap, and stalk, stick stalk in hole. got to get the right positioning. Feel like that's not too bad. Okay, I'm going to hold it here for a second because I just like to hold things still for long periods of time. It's very exciting for me. I've got nothing better to do with my time. I mean, I could be somewhere else, but no, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to hold this for the next 2.5 hours. Come back then. No, I'm only kidding. Okay, so let's grab that. Where's my little tool? Trying to pick it up with the back of the tool now. Look at that. Yo, careful. So many little things sticking off it now. It's kind of tricky to get at. It's getting harder and harder. I am not finished either. There are still 3 more eye stalks, and I've still got to glue it to the base. The base, I feel like that's going to be the easiest bit. There we go. Got it. And who said that model making was easy? Hardly at all. At this point you probably thought, well, I should just go and buy myself a pre-made and molded beholder rather than go through all that rigmarole that you've been doing, Fred. You're probably right. It is a bit of a puzzle, I have to say. Okay, so, well, at least he doesn't look like he's blowing in the wind. Because when I was looking at the picture in the box, if I do it like this, he doesn't look like he's blowing in the wind. Not that there's anything wrong with blowing in the wind. Blowing in the wind, like there's a big strong gale, not blowing in the wind. He's not gone with the wind. He's fighting the wind. All right, let's stop making jokes and grab another pin. And it's probably too long, but I'll find that out in a second. Shove it in the hole. Yeah, it's way too long. I'll first just leave it there and then trim it off. Yep, let's give it a dry fit and moving on. Encumbrance. DM, did somebody say encumbrance? Don't talk to me about encumbrance. It's like the most exciting part of the game. Yeah. I don't know why anybody would want me to talk about encumbrance. I don't know why people still want to talk about encumbrance. I totally understand it. You know, like somebody's walking around and they're carrying like a whole shop full of arms. But when you think Dungeons and Dragons, the last thing that you think is, I really like the idea of keeping track of all of my stuff. That's why they made the bag of holding. Bags of holding solve that problem. Of course, sticking weapons inside the bag of holding's never been a good idea. How long does it have to be? Last time I tried to do this didn't work. Okay, so that didn't work. So it's guess again, Fred. Guess again. Okay, go with longer rather than shorter. See if I get it right this time. I feel like that's a lot better. Yep. Okay, right, stick that in the hole, and yet again, one more eye stalk. Will be one more eye stalk closer to the end and completion of our mission to complete the Xanathar miniature. Yeah. Yep, she's in. Good, worked out well, and then in the slot, cap on glue, grab the stalk. Ah, it is hard to hold now. Why is it not working? There we go, got it. That's it. There we go. It's in. It's sitting right. Just make sure it stays there for a second, and then we'll do the baking soda thing again. Okay. Turn around. Baking soda, little tool, and everything is moving off to the sides. Come back into the middle. Try to get it on the actual gap, Fred, rather than somewhere else. No. Almost. Turn it around. Yay. Alright. Well, I think that has got the vast majority of the worst parts to figure out sorted. It doesn't look too bad. I'm a little worried about this eye stalk here because it's so close to the body, which will make it a pain to paint. That's my only concern. And I was trying really hard to get the eye stalks further away from the face, so he didn't look like he was trying to look up down his own nostrils or into his own mouth, which is kind of disgusting and weird anyway. Right, eye stalks. 2 more eye stalks to go. We'll straighten out this paper clip, and actually I'll just trim that right off. We might be able to use that now. Could be too long, but you never know. And trim that one. Unfold, leave it there. Very good. I like this base, even though it's kind of not really very flat. I don't like this base. I will fix this base by probably building some stuff around it underneath to flatten it out. Oh, pardon me. I'm trying to burp. I've got gas. Could fin their purple worm, it's the best. What's that, Joe? I wish I could find their purple worm, it's the best. Yeah, that purple worm is really, really nice. The Gale Force 9 purple worm. Okay, so let's tackle the back end, which was giving me a little bit of a problem in terms of what I felt was a busy body as it is, and then suddenly you put more eye stalks on it and it looks like she's getting a little bit carried away. I don't really want the eye stalk there. Or do I? No, that's not so bad. What about this side? Just got to fit in the shape properly. That sucks. That really sucks. That sucks a lot. I had this problem before, didn't I? That's super duper stupid. And that might have to do. It's over the head, down the middle. We're sticking it there. That's the next one I'll do. So pin. And nope, it's too long. Cut it off a fraction. Like so. And in the hole. Line it up in the hole. Too long still, only by a smidgen, just like a teeny weeny bit. Try that again. Mamma mia. Oh, it's come out. This is why I need the tweezers, so I can do the fiddly bits. That is I'm really torn on the whole thing. The positioning of the eye stalks is definitely one of the least favourite parts. Okay, it's going to be out of the way of the other one. I guess that's the main thing. Alright, so glue. It's kind of down the middle. Glue, pin. Ah! Oh no, I got it on my fingers. It's not good. Okay, that's messed with my plans. Okay, that's got it in, and now in the hole, cap, and pin. I know it doesn't look brilliant in that position, but it seems to fit with the sort of layout of the body, and it will at least not be in the way of something else. So we just press that in tight, move this little sucker over here into position, and now baking soda. Oh, good lord, so many eye stalks to deal with. And one more side, and then this one is done. Okay, good. Alright, that's that one. Last one. One more pin. Oh, here's been a hard work. No, it's too small. Here we go. God, blimey! There's eye stalks everywhere. That might be a bit long. Let's try the shorter one. No, it's just going to keep falling out. Let's try again. And see, this is my issue with this eye stalk going in the direction it's going. I don't really like it. That I don't like. That sucks. That sucks. Backwards is like stupid. Over there is behind him. Bugger it. I'm sticking an eye stalk looking behind him because I don't like that. What do you think? I need some honest advice and opinions from people. I'll try to get my fingers out of the way. Do you prefer, this is position 1 for the eye stalk. Can you see what I'm doing? That's the problem. So position 1, I need at least 3 confirmations. 3 different people confirming that this is the best way to go about it. So position 1, or I turn it and point it behind him like that. That's position 2. Yeah, keep looking behind him. Joe prefers 1. Dear Jesus prefers 2, looking behind him. This is position 1, position 2. What do people think? I've got a 1 and a 2. I'm still waiting on a... Chris has gone with a 1, prefers this position. I need another 1, or I need a couple more 2s. This is position 2. Darren, looks good. Fred, position 1. Position 1 it is. Okay. It's getting all of the stickiness off my fingers, which is mostly to do with not so much glue, but to do with just sweat. I'm a sweating, I'm a sweaty little pig, I'm a sweaty little pig. And the glue is in, the cap is on. This is the moment of truth. I'm holding it in place. Once it's here for a certain period of time, there's no going back. What's that, Joe? If you stick to the original windy look as intended, it would be together already, Fred. Laugh out loud. The problem was I couldn't. If I'd gone with the original windy look, I don't have the right pieces and parts because it wasn't in the box. Remember, a few of them were duplicates of the wrong pin position, so I've had to make adjustments. I feel like this is still probably an improvement on the original picture. So if you're getting it, if you go and buy it and you decide to put it together, you can probably rearrange things a little bit so it doesn't have to look the way it was on the box or as intended. So you don't have to worry about Xanathar blowing away in the wind. Okay, we've got that in place. Let's grab that. And then it's baking soda time. Yo. Oh, yep. It's good. And that, no, I missed it. Again. There we go. A little bit there. Smidgen there. Okay. He's ready for eating. He's all ready for eating. Bring your sugared spoons, knife and fork if you prefer a knife and fork. We'll chow down on Mr. Xanathar. Okay, so now that that's glued in place, I have to now decide on the stalk. Well, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm just sticking him on the stalk and just sort of having a kind of a basic idea, look at sort of his position. I dislike it. I feel like the miniature is falling forward rather than doing what I want it to do. That's slightly better. But I don't like the base. I would prefer to have the tiled bit. This is alright, but this is more interesting. And I know what you're thinking, well Fred, you don't have to... Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to drill a hole in his underneath. I'm going to drill a hole in his poop hole. Gonna drill a hole in his poop hole and see if I can't realign it. Yep, that's what we're going to do. I'm doing it now. And it's hopefully done. Does that make a difference? Or is it just the positioning of the base? That's the... if I hold it in place, it's not so bad. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking in terms of position on the base. What do you guys think? Good? Bad? Alright? Ridiculous? Reasonable? A mess? I feel like that's roughly the position he should be set in. What's that, Joe? He wasn't blown away in the wind, he was doing a flying eye stalk kick. Oh, well that's what I need to do. I need to make myself a beholder monk who wears plate armor. Chris reckons it's reasonable. Anybody else? Anything else to say? I like the idea of flying eye stalk kick. what would you call that? The way of the eyeball? I know it's a bad joke. What's that, dear Jesus? You can always conjure a level 11 demon and ask if Darren P if you like to try the hard way. I don't want to do the hard way, I want to do the easy way. Advice. Chris reckons this is a reasonable position. Anybody else have anything else to say? Because otherwise I'm going to try to sort of stick it in like that. And that would be the end of the assembly of Mr. Xanathar. Darren, damn, not available on Amazon. See it in Canada. Oh, really? That sucks. Should be available on... Oh, where is it? It should be available from the Gale Force 9 website, though. Darren. Sorry if it's not available on the Canadian version. What's that, dear Jesus? Can you turn it down so we can see the base? Turn it down? Is that better? Better position? Oops. I'm thinking like that. It looks like a boxer. Bring it down a little bit, sorry. Is that better in terms of positioning? I think that is about as good as it's going to get and still be balanced. And I would imagine I'm probably going to have to use something to help balance out the bottom of it, just to make sure it looks all right. I think that is probably the final position for Mr. Xanathar. Okay, I'm going to make it happen. Oh wait, monk flurry of blows. Yes, exactly. Alright, I'm going to glue it in place. That's it. That'll do. And flip it. Got it. Lid. And position. Now I probably need to make sure I have this. You guys can't see what's going on, but I can. That's the important thing, right? I'm just going to make sure I hold it in place so it's going to set in the right position. Yeah, I'm going to have to definitely rebalance the base because it's not going to hold them up properly. I think that's a given there. All right, just a couple more seconds and then we're ready to figure it out. Figure it out with something. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, good. All right, let's get the. Where's this little tool of mine? We'll set it there. It will be there for all time. Oops, I'm missing it. It was supposed to be over the lid. Yo, 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 she's done. That's it. Okay, alright, so I think while I'm here, so I don't have to fill it with putty and so forth, I'm going to kind of cheat and use the super glue and this baking soda to fill in that last. There's only one little crack that I can see that might be an issue. It's just there. So I figure a little bit of super glue there, a little bit of baking soda. Yo-ho, she's done. I can go home. All the rest of you can go and watch some TV or do whatever you're doing. That's it. Oh, almost glued my fingers together again. And the tool, wrong way round. Yeah. That'll do it. Okay, she's done. That's it. It's been a long process. To be fair, I wouldn't say it was easy. It was actually pretty difficult to assemble. By all means, you may applaud, clap, laugh, frown, whatever sort of works for you, I'm happy for you to do that now. But if you found this remotely entertaining or useful to you in some way, then great, please share and like the video. Hit the subscribe button so you can watch me try to do other things like this, because I'm hoping this won't be the only thing that Gale Force 9 will send me and let me try to do and put together live. If they let me do more stuff, it would be awesome, because I would be very happy to be able to continue to do this for them, and for myself and for you guys and for everybody else, just because it's kind of fun. I mean, even though it was difficult, I had a lot of fun. So please subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos. Thank you very much to Gale Force 9 and Battlefront and Gareth for sending it to me. Well, there is still more work to be done on it. We're not finished. I will be coming back to paint it at some time, but I'm going to let it set properly first for at least a day or two. And also I've got to wait for the temperatures sort of to drop off a little bit. Now, if you want to support my channel, watching this video, which is like 2 hours long, has definitely supported me. If you watched only a fraction of that, that still works as far as I'm concerned. I have hundreds more videos that you can go and check out about Dungeons and Dragons, all sorts of different topics for players, dungeon masters, crafting, painting, assembly, bits and pieces like that, so you can go and check them out if you want to. I don't do Patreon, but down in the description there are affiliate links to the book depository and Amazon, including a link to buying this particular miniature. Unfortunately, it's not available on the Canadian Amazon link, and I can't do anything about that. Sorry about that for those of you who are in Canada. And look, this is your opportunity to give me feedback. As I said, clap, frown, say hooray, whatever, jump up and down like a mad thing. If you're not part of live chat, comment section. Use the comment section. And hey, guys, thank you for hanging around for such a long time, and keep rolling those 20s. I feel like maybe I should turn a big 20-sided dice into a beholder with eye stalks. It's an idea. I don't know if it's a good idea, but it's an idea. Okay, thanks guys. I'm going to take off. Yes, I did wash the miniature. I did actually wash the miniature down before I actually started doing this. Yes, Darren, I will post some pictures of the finished product. So I'll try to sort of line it up so you can get a couple of different views on it on Facebook, okay? I'll try, if I remember, I'll try and put one up on the YouTube group or community tab as well, okay? Alright, good night everybody.